We are live and welcome to game 2 of the Consolation bracket. We've got Queensland versus Victoria. Victoria taking a decisive victory in the first matchup. Queensland here looking to come back strong, start the game with some pace and maybe have the momentum swing in their favour heading into game 3.
The commentators should announce themselves.
Yep. If you don't know already, I'm Giacomo Abuba and I'm here with...
My name is Eden Hodge. I am a celebrity cameo in this instance.
Like an E-list celebrity. Anyway. Yeah. Here we are ready for the brooms up. We've got...
Morton and Kim running. Looks like
Perfect.
Morton's got that.
Yeah, Morton picks it up. Tackled though by Kim.
Excellent
Holding him up, tying
Morton's
him.
getting there. Morton's somehow getting it out.
Yeah. Quite good at those passes through tackles.
It was very impressive. And Kim's speed should not be underrated because she has won a lot of those quaffle runs. Or quad ball runs, I may say.
Yeah. And we'll see how the Queensland Chasers set their defense up.
Oh, Tim with the ball. Wallace putting pressure on. Looks like Mish has now got it. Wallace with the behind contact, but it looks legal.
and
Hannah with
getting
the ball.
tied up. Aisha active with the bludger.
Morton
Faking them
now
out.
being pressured.
Yep.
Oh, good attempt by Aisha.
Just misses. Pass off to Morton. Looking to convert. Pass
Morton
back.
off to Tim and through the hoop.
Yep.
Great play there. Some may even say a B1.
A lot of scoring options on those hoops for Victoria there. They had many a chance and they converted it. Nathan with a nice pass back. And Victoria are on the board.
Looks like Josh is now walking it up, supported by Wallace. And I'm trying to see who else is out there. And I will now be leaving.
Actually see the game. Hello, Giacomo. I'm back.
Hello.
Back commentating
Round 2.
round 2 on this
And
game.
Nathan Morton, another goal, it looks like. So Victoria coming out strong early. 2 quick goals, one by Nathan, one assisted.
Well, that's what Victoria want, right? They saw game 1. They saw what they needed to do. I don't think many changes needed from Victoria there from game 1.
No,
Like we said last time, it's really up to Queensland to make these changes here. We already see that change. You know, Josh Linley coming in the second line for Queensland in the first game, and Josh Linley here starting.
Yeah.
He's got the towel on, so we know he means business. But even here, it looks like I've got Josh Linley and then Wallace as the. Looks like this is, I would say, potentially their best chaser line starting here. Looking at Wallace. Trevor, Caitlin Rapson, and Kim Harry at the back there. So this is definitely their best chaser line.
Yeah.
So see what they can do. Lots of opportunities, lots of open shots there. Great pass over to Caitlin
And
with the fake there.
This is the goal she likes, but
This is
isn't
all
able
she likes.
to. Yeah.
Victoria, that hoop defense, just not quite being able to penetrate that.
I think maybe
Taking him down. That was a beat and a half.
Nathan
Great
pass off
over
again.
there
Yeah.
to Tim Scott. Tim Scott finishing through. Tim Scott, an interesting player. Look at him go. He's already subbing off.
Yeah.
Right, like Victoria running those short lines, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tim Scott, comes on maybe one more time and plays another 90 seconds. He's a very selfless player. He comes on, he does his good stuff, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Look, I've done my job. Off we
Exactly,
go."
yeah. Gets
And
the job done.
I really respect that.
That's his second goal now, both times assisted by Nathan.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
So he's like, "Look, I'm on here. Put some goals on the board, and I'll move on then."
And ideally, that's what you want, right? You want your players to be as fresh as possible,
100%.
playing as hard as they can, and then
Yeah.
making a quick sub when they can't give all that they can to the
Yeah.
field.
Josh
And-
Linley with the shot through the middle. Looks like
Just misses, it looks
yeah,
like.
just misses. Just that T section. I'm always surprised by how big the hoop is and how much times people manage to hit the very thin pole. It just
Absolutely,
happens to everyone. It seems statistically improbable, but I guess not.
I say we make the hoop smaller.
Yeah. That's not a benefit to you, Jack. Surely.
No, I'm a shooter.
Yeah, so you want the hoops bigger. All right, another goal there for Victoria.
Yeah.
Just able to step through, using their beaters to just open up that space and just stepping through that Queensland defense. Queensland not quite stepping up to make the hit there. We saw this in game 1. Victoria just managing to use their size close to hoops, and it looks like they're capitalizing on that a little bit with with Andrew Quinn there stepping through, just finishing that through.
Yeah. A big part of this game will be the Queensland chasers stepping up to make those hits, being active hands, active feet,
Yeah.
and you know, being aware of the players sneaking behind.
Will Arnold looking for a shot here. Just rockets off the top of the hoop. I don't mind that actually from him.
I don't mind it. Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, and he's got the option. It's just this shooting without a setup from Queensland.
Yeah.
Like, it might be there if that shot is 30 centimeters lower that goes in, but there wasn't any setup to that goal. So you're just relying on that quite a narrow space where you can shoot. Ash King driving here, putting in the fake on through middle hoop, and just not Victorian players once again caught flat-footed, and then Ash King just shooting.
Yeah, that should never happen. Like
hoop,
one
right?
player, couple steps in, fake, and then shot on left hoop.
Yeah.
But yeah, Victoria building a sizable lead here. Only 5 minutes in.
They've scored a goal a minute. Which was quite good. With no answer from Queensland, Will Arnold here looking for an option.
Now, yeah, oh.
Great stop there once again. They're just not able to penetrate that tree defense, and they're going to need some fens in there, some pushing hands away. Another fake there from Ash King
fast break.
on the fast break, pushing each other down. Victorian players, Andrew Quinn
And you're
Sam
right.
Gilpatrick.
There is a clear difference between Queensland and Victoria in terms of their chaser game. How Victoria have set up plays. They've made 1, 2, 3, 4 passes. And it looks like Queensland maybe one into a shot, if that.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little more set up from Queensland.
They're just not setting up those goals. And like we said before, don't mind the shots. Right?
Yeah.
The shots are there. And we definitely see them being an option there. And Queensland looking for those shots and have decent shooters on the team. They just need something to open up for that. Right, once again, we're going to see, Will Arnold here looking for the shot here. But it's a one-man play. It's a one-man play. Getting a screen in there, just making that defense look at a little bit more than just the ball is going to open that up so much more for Queensland.
Yeah, and it's frustrating if you're a player and, you're not getting involved in the plays.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially, I think that's potentially just Will Arnold being like, look, I see the shot, it's on. Let's set a hoop screen. Let's do this, right? Giving people roles, especially because Queensland potentially at this point, 60 down, they're feeling the pressure a little bit and they're wondering, okay, what are we going to do about this, right? Nice stop there from Will Arnold.
Some active hands on the middle hoop.
Much better there. Just Ash King just looking for the shot there, got through the point and then was expecting, I guess, the second person to step up and Queensland instead looking to block there. So good stuff from them. Getting a block there, getting another opportunity. First block in a while. And Queensland with control.
Yeah.
So huge for them. So this is a great opportunity for them. Swing the tide of this game a little bit, stop the momentum from Victoria, and see what they can do with control, with some patience. They have a little bit of time here to think about it. Looks like we're going to get an inbound from the back from Victoria. All right, so Queensland, what are they going to do with control? Victoria, Kath Lloyd going to have to put a big throw in here to get that.
Do they
back.
not get the chance to take it back?
No, because it's an inbound.
Oh, okay.
It's an inbounding
I see.
thing. Yeah, Kath Lloyd trying her best there, just getting as far as possible. Not quite getting the distance there. Liz Schultz able to pick that up. But Kath Lloyd looking for a little bit of pressure, having to get beat out. But looks like Victoria's going to be able to settle into their hoops defense there pretty easily.
Yeah.
Just
And
those classic hands up.
the longer
Andrew
this
Quinn
game
pushing.
goes without a score from Queensland, the more I worry. Here
Great
we go.
stuff
So
there.
we
That's
go.
exactly what we need, right? A little bit of team play, a little bit of movement, right?
Yeah.
Beta beating out the point, letting that open up, really opens that up for Queensland. And that's the kind of quality of play that we have seen from them, and that I really hope to continue to see from them because they can do it, and we want more of that.
Very quality look there. Much better. Because, Victoria were expecting another shot from
Yeah,
Will Arnold.
absolutely.
So being able to pass off there opened up that hoop completely.
Over to Sarah Pasturi. Her just being able to finish that super easily. There was no one there.
No.
Yeah, time for days.
Now they're on the board. So
Max
it should,
Pockley looking for a little pop out. That's
yeah.
a lovely pass from Max Pockley over to
yeah.
Jack Emerton.
Victoria loved that left hoop.
They do. And Queensland, again, Max Pockley, he's a big guy. He's
Yeah.
a big boy. You got to step up to stop him and just collapse on that arm. I think something that, props to the Blue Bulldogs, something that I think that players like Chris Collins, players that like Eden Hodge did really well, is just collapsing on that arm, right? Just shutting that ball arm down and denying those drives, right? If you might not have the size to go toe-to-toe with people like Max Pockley driving through, or Ash King driving through, with Jack Emerton, same, just got to wrap that ball up. Another shot attempt here, but goes over to Chris Peak. And here we go. We see the change in Queensland, right?
Yeah.
2 goals in a row
Yeah.
with yes, answered, but they are scoring now.
They're
They are
firing
generating
back.
goals.
Yeah.
Max Pockley looking for an
Much better
offense
game
here.
state. Going through everybody.
Able to go through.
Yeah.
Just charges through. I think Victoria's starting to realise we can just run this through.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think Queensland need to push these driving threats out a little bit more. They're getting way too close to the hoops.
Don't let them get that momentum. Once they get momentum and you don't have the size to stop them, it's essentially over, right? Unless there's a fumble or something. Although I am always a big proponent of anything goes. Ooh, that's a big hit on Richard Crumrine from... should given him a card for that. Assaulting the referee. Chris Peak not having a lot of time here. Choosing to reset the ball, but there are players there, so that's good.
Yeah.
Caitlin Rapson picking that up.
And they should walk it in very slowly.
There you go.
Regain
Waiting
some
for their
composure.
chases. Kim Parry getting back in. Sam Chittenden getting back in. Great pass over
out
to Chris Peak.
Yep, can make a move here. He's
Option
got a
here.
beater on him.
Great
Passes-
timing there on the beater tackle, but Chris not able to convert there. I don't know if Chris saw Ethan there, because Ethan made a great timed tackle on the beater arm as the beater was looking to throw.
Yeah.
Chris probably had a step and a shot on that medium hoop there.
That's what I
think.
thought he was originally going to go for, but he saw Kim Parry.
Yeah, because I think that right
yeah.
side step put through, I've seen him do it many times before. He
Yeah.
can absolutely do it. And I think potentially he made the choice to throw before. he
Probably
saw
just
what the beater was
didn't
going.
see his own beater make that play.
Absolutely. So great stuff from Ethan there to open that up. Chris not able to capitalize. So we'll see what.
But the looks are getting better.
Yeah, absolutely. The play has definitely changed. Queensland looking for more than single pass plays, and it's just definitely working in their favour. Victoria just so calm though, so calm under pressure. Going for the 1.5. Great tackle there. Pushing out,
Yeah.
not getting Max Pockley getting over,
Oh.
just over 2. That's going to get intercepted. Great
Yeah,
work
that
from
was-
Queensland there.
Almost another goal if the chaser had caught that.
Yeah.
Queensland a bit lucky there. Good pass out. Oh,
Oh, Sam Chittenden
Chris
just not
scooping
able to
it
finish.
up.
Chris, unfortunately, just delayed just enough for Max Pockley to hustle and get that. Definitely short. So on field right now for Victoria, we have Jack Emerton, Max Pockley, Hannah War-Evans, Steph Mashord, with Nathan Lamb and Obel Rennie as the
Yeah.
beaters.
strong lineup.
Yeah, strong lineup. Right. Caitlin Rapson stepping up, putting good pressure onto Hannah War-Evans, forcing the turnover. So good stuff from her. You can't really hope for more from just a little bit of pressure up top. Sam Chittenden stepping up to Max Pockley, probably the best matchup here for them. Hannah War-Evans looking for the ball. Max Pockley looking for the step here. Shaking
gets
it off.
it.
He's got big shoulders, the
Yeah.
man Chris Peak.
Slaps it, but doesn't quite have control.
Doesn't quite get it, but Steph Mashord just picking it up and Chris just able to wrap that up. And that's
Yeah.
going to be
Should
a
be
Queensland
it, yeah.
ball. Steph just not delaying that, giving Ethan enough time to come back in, and that's the Victorian chaser beat out. And that's going to be another defensive stop there. So the game has slowed down.
It
Right?
has.
We saw that strong start from Victoria, and Queensland have slowed them down. Right? Yes, they are 60 down.
But a much better game state.
Yeah, definitely they've slowed this game down, and we have a change again in those lines, right? Queensland coming up with Josh Lindy, swapping out there. Victorian beaters, people like Nathan Lamb, Obel Rennie being much more active, jumping in there,
Yeah.
generating those turnovers there, but it's also opening things up for Queensland, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword there. That's right. Yeah, so those beaters pressuring high, being a little bit more aggressive. I think Victoria at this point have realised, yep, we have the better beaters. We can play a little bit more aggressive,
Yeah.
and we'll get control back if we lose it, right? They're going to back themselves here to do so. Obel Rennie just making sure that Josh Lindy can't step out of that keeper zone to pressure the ball with the Victorian chasers.
Throwback here for Victoria.
Another 1.5. Nathan Lamb beat out. Hannah War-Evans looking for a screen there. Not quite opening it up. Hannah War-Evans
Yeah.
calling for the ball there.
Taking their time.
Obel Rennie opening it up. Another 1.5. Just pushing it back and forth
Yeah.
between and a Will Evans and what I believe to be Andrew Quinn. Moving that back and forth, waiting for an opportunity here.
Okay.
We're going to see a stoppage here.
Victoria beat us at the start of the game. We're being very active and getting involved. Now they're doing a lot more 1.5s. The game's slowed down because of that.
Great insight there from Zale. If you didn't hear, Victorian beaters being a little bit more active at the start of the game, using their bludgers on offense to generate those goals, and then it really slowing down a little bit more as soon as Victoria start doing those 1.5s. Right, they're playing it safe. We're about 10 minutes, so they're just in this crucial period of the game, that pre-snitch on pitch period of the game. They're just being like, okay, we're going to hold control here. We're just going to 1.5 and see what we can do with just bodies on the ball.
Yeah.
Queensland are successfully defending the 1.5.
Do you want to just come and commentate, Zale? Come on over. We're going to beat her inside. We've got two dumb chasers here. Just talking too much about the chaser game.
Yeah.
Zale Briscoe-Hoff coming in as our beater specialist.
Yeah, no. So my insight, I've just been camera operating. At the start of the game, we saw Victoria being a lot more active with their beaters than they have in previous games over the weekend. A lot of times they're holding back and being ready to stop fast breaks. And at the start of this game, we saw them pressing up, making beats, being really active, both on offense and defense. And now we're seeing him pull back a lot and be really protective over control. And we can see, especially in that last play, 2 1.5s in a row, both successfully defended by Queensland, and nothing's happening. They're just walking around.
Do we think those 1.5s are a symptom of Victoria want to hold on to their control? Like, it's not close enough to snitch on pitch that I would kind of warrant that, but why do you think Victoria has changed that into that style?
I'd say it's definitely a mix of, always having control on defense is good. Queensland have really fast players, and when you have those two bludgers safe, even if you don't have your second beater there, you've got 2 free throws. But at the same time, Victoria could definitely be just trying to rest their beaters a lot more. Especially with Obel and Nicola being just subbing for each other, as we've mentioned a few times.
Josh Lindley not quite getting the comms and not quite getting off to Ryan. Ryan managing to get that ball off to Syrah, who gets wrapped up by Nathan Morton, takes it to the ground, and that's going to be the end of that Queensland offense. Great catch there from Obel Rennie, taking that ball from Sam Turner. This is going to be a defensive stop from Victoria on a fast break. Like you said, Zale, those 2 bludgers back just allow you to have that little bit of extra safety there, and that's what we see on that Victorian defense, right? Able to just hold on to that, and Queensland still with control. They do have a beater out back. Currently no Victorian chasers out back, and we have seen people like Matt Tingate and such taking that position. But we've also seen Victoria play quite a flat defense, right? Not really people going into that deep, and that's what we see right now, right? We have Nathan Morton and Ed Vionette as the wing chaser threats, both big wing chaser threats. Struggling there. Okay, great beat out there from the Queensland beaters, and that's going to be a free goal for Josh Lindley. That's fantastic work from Sam Turner, being able to turn the ball over. Some action happening in the centre of the court.
Now, it looks like we might have missed a red card for Victoria. Currently, Obel's the only beater on. We have a beater in the box who didn't come back in after that goal.
Oh, good. Second tap from Nathan Morton, getting the ball back out to Victoria, so keeping this offense alive. Josh Lindley just holding on to that there. Managing to end that play there. Great stuff from the Queensland Chasers, just ending that there. And beaters doing excellent work, just shutting that down. Anything that's coming close, they've realized, okay, yep, Victoria have the bodies. If they get close, they are scoring on us. Let's just beat those people out as soon as they come close. And I think we've seen a bit of a change here defensively, right? Victoria struggling to score a little bit more.
Yeah.
And if we continue to see this, Queensland are going to claw their way back, right? Props to Queensland. They're saying game ain't over. Yeah. Right? We've come to play. We've come to play hard. Let's
better
go.
Defensively.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was 5 goals to Victoria in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And they've definitely slowed that down.
They've stepped it up. So excellent work there. Chris Peake just delaying the ball here. Some good stuff here. Letting his beaters, his defense reset. feels so unnecessary when you're sitting there. I'm just going to hold here, but it does matter. It lets your defense have that breather even, and it lets them just get their bearings, have a little chat. Okay, what are we doing? What kind of defense structure are we running? So it does matter. So good job there from Chris Peak. Victoria taking it up. We've got the ball in Edvinet's hands. Takes the drive here. Looks for the ball out to Mish Mannering. Fakes it over, but that is going to be a goal to Edvinet. Fantastic work there. And we were talking about those bodies on and stopping that. And I think Queensland just need to commit to...
They do.
We're just going to stop the drive because it's when those players are getting close, that's what's working for Victoria.
Yeah.
And that's what's obviously failing for Queensland.
And yeah, even if you get stepped, at least if it's, just inside of the halfway mark or, outside of keeper zone,
Yep.
it's a lot better than getting stepped, inside of the keeper zone and, right around all three of the hoops.
Oh, great step from Chris Peak, but he gets beat. And Nathan Morton on the run manages to get it through.
Yeah.
Chris Peak putting his hardest in there to try and get the tap in and the goal, but Nathan Morton just had half a step in front of him and quite evenly matched in speed, it looks like. So Chris Peak bring it up with Willis Trevor, Kim Parry, Liz Schultz, Miller and Ben as your beaters. Michelle Duke coming out on a hard mark on Kim Parry. Michelle Duke, that seems to be quite a favourite defensive role of hers. Chris Peak looking for the wraparound.
Yep.
Great screen
Gets
into
it.
the shot there.
Yeah.
And that's what we talked about at the beginning of the game, right?
Using the team players,
Using the
yeah.
team to open up the shot. Nathan Morton on the fast break here. Being
Wrapped
able to
up.
stop that. Great tackle
Yeah.
there from Wallace Trevor. Fantastic work. Nathan
Great,
Morton.
yeah.
One of the few times that he hasn't actually managed to get a pass out while being tackled, right?
No, yeah.
Props to the man. The standard is high, right?
Yeah.
But that's a huge defensive
And
stop
that's
for
putting your
Queensland.
body there.
Yeah, that's what we need to
In
see,
between.
right? Wallace is here to play, and
Yeah.
he's been like, I don't care that they're bigger, I don't care that they're faster. I'm going to put my body on the line, and that's what we love to see from the Queenslanders.
Yeah.
Right, Chris directing.
And
Miller.
good defense typically translates into some good offense.
Yeah.
So
Chris looking for an option there, not quite.
Not quite.
Getting the intercept. Nathan Morton on the fast break here. Kim Parry looking for an option here. Nathan
Yeah.
Morton just breaking through. Nathan Morton just putting that through. This is the threat of Victoria, right? Being able to pick that ball up and having those driving threats,
Yeah.
just being like, yeah, I'm going to go and I'm going to score, right? Queensland not really having an answer to that. And I think a lot of this comes down to who's got control. Victoria able to stop it with those 1.5s that we saw, right? Victoria able to have that bludger back and be like, you're not going to fast break on us, right? And I think Queensland are probably requiring their bludgers on offense to generate those goals. So therefore, they don't have those bludgers back when needed.
Yeah.
And you've kind of got to think as Queensland, okay, how much value is the goal if they're fast breaking back, right? Because you're effectively still at, plus minus zero. So beaters potentially having to make a change there. Okay, how do we generate a goal while still being able to play a defense here?
yeah.
Great tackle here from Andrew Quinn.
Josh Lindley running it
Great
through.
shot
Yep.
from Josh Lindley.
Yep.
Out of the tackle. Gets him just out enough. Oh, that's an
Rolls it.
unfortunate. That's a great throwback, Nicola Gertler. That could have been a fast break there for Victoria if it hadn't been a fortuitous accidental kickback from a Queensland chaser running back.
Yeah.
So that works. Victoria subbing off both their beaters. They've been quite a while, so they're probably going to sub on their snitch on pitch specialist. Yes, they are. Oval Rennie and Sam Kilpatrick taking the field. All right, it's Jack Emerton taking the wing here. Kath Lloyd setting a screen on a beater, it seems.
Yeah.
Alrighty. My favourite question, Jack. How do you play this as Queensland? Beaters, snitch on pitch, coming in.
How do you play
You're
this?
60 down.
Yeah. From memory, Victoria... Oh, no, was it Queensland that caught?
Queensland court.
Queensland did catch. Maybe you let history repeat itself and you focus on getting some quick goals.
Yeah. We know that players like Josh Lindley have the potential to, right? He's a quick
Yeah.
player. He generates some good offenses. People like Wallace not currently on, was able there. Caitlin Rapson's on. Caitlin Rapson, always a great opportunity if you want those goals to go in. So they definitely have the scoring potential here.
I think...
So I wouldn't mind that. We'll see what the beaters
answer-
are doing here. Ethan looking like he's just staying on snitch there. Sam Kilpatrick focusing on Quaffle there.
Yeah.
Making that choice. Sam Kilpatrick, very smart beater. He takes the Quaffle to generate the turnover, goes straight into the snitch game. Jack Emerton looking for an out here. Off to Ash King.
I think the biggest point here for Queensland is snitch on pitch
Great
defense.
stop from Caleb Rapson.
And
That's
there
awesome.
we go, yeah.
That's fantastic work from Jack Emerton, able to pick that up. It's a step.
Because, yeah, Queensland don't want Victoria to build this lead any more than it is right now. Good pass off. And
Great
yeah.
pass off. Ash King could have taken that himself. Goes for the extra pass, and I love that extra pass, right? It just makes that goal so much safer. Means that there's no risk in it. Makes it easy. We do have the snitch tag in Max Pockley's hands. We also do have the snitch down. So, catch probably no good here.
Yeah.
I'm always a big believer in the longer the ref chat is, the less likely the catch is going to be. So we'll see how long this ref chat is.
You say that, but last game there was a long discussion and
That's
the catch
true.
was good.
That's true. That's true.
But, you know, generally.
Generally. Look,
Yeah.
who knows? I don't put myself in those ref chats enough. Normally, I, as an AR, be like, I have nothing to add to this because I was doing my job watching the bludgers. I'm not watching the snitch. I'm not going to contribute. It's probably too many voices, too many cooks in the kitchen. Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. Harry Jones demonstrating what he thinks to the snitch.
Yeah.
We'll see what the snitch has in mind here. But either way, catch the Victoria. Obviously, that it would be their second win against Queensland. Queensland obviously hoping for this. And it's tough for Queensland, right? They don't have control. And we see them in a pretty similar situation to game one. I think they've put on a better show. They've definitely played better than in game one.
For sure.
But Victoria have matched that, right? Victoria have matched that step for step. They're saying, look, we have these beaters that are going to be dominant, that are going to keep control for us. And you're going to have to play against control against most of the game, and that's what we see Queensland struggling with against. A few times Queensland had control. That's when you see those goals creeping back up, using that team play to move that ball around. But Victoria just being dominant in that beater game, I think, really shifting that game there.
And yeah, Queensland have very fast players, very good shooters.
Yeah.
And a testament to the Victorian defense, being able to shut that down pretty effectively.
Yeah. I think Victoria playing this tactically, being like, okay, we're just going to keep a bludger, safe on defense.
Yeah.
Because Queensland will, having played against a bunch of these players, having played against all these players, they will. They will see a fast break and they'll be like, rubbing their hands, they'll be licking their chops, right? They love that. They love that stuff. And Victoria playing the counterplay really well.
And this has been a lengthy discussion, so Queensland should be.
So we're gonna say, yeah, no idea here. We'll see. Snitch is going to keep the tag on. That is going to be a clean catch.
You're 0 for
to
2 on
Victoria.
these
I'm
on
0
these
for 2 on the calls.
predictions.
0 for 2 on the calls. Maybe the refs just love to yap.
Yeah.
The refs just love a yap. So we have Victoria taking out game 2 of the series. We'll see if we'll be back for game 3. But as it stands, Victoria sitting in 3rd place with Queensland sitting in 4th. Let's talk macro level. How do we think this will kind of impact? Like, there's obviously been some talk in the last game about the double New South Wales final, and then obviously the third, 4th place, because we have a massive changeover from last year, right? Consider Victoria last year and Queensland last year, right, coming second in the tournament, to this year Queensland coming in that 4th position. I definitely think we see a shift in Queensland.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think this is for Queensland. I would like to say that this is a development year for them.
Yeah.
Right. They have a lot of fresh players. A lot of players coming from those Firehawks.
Yeah.
Who are coming in fresh to the Thunderbirds. That first big hit out with best players in the state. So this is a great experience for them, just playing at this level and playing with that team. So I'm really excited what they have to offer next year if those similar players stay in it and build on that.
For sure, yeah. Queensland, they had a bunch of their more experienced players retire.
Yep.
And then they've brought up their new players from the Firehawks, and they're trying to develop them, as you said.
Yeah.
And in terms of Victoria, I think as someone who was on the bottle squad last year, this isn't the biggest upset imaginable. I think that we had some really good games against Victoria. We beat them the first one and then lost for the 3rd place.
Correct.
But that was still a very close game. So to bring it to them again,
Give me a ratings. It was good.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So to bring it to them again this year. With this bottle squad it's been fantastic, and they beat us first game.
Yeah.
We were able to secure the victory.
So you swapped it
today.
over.
Yeah.
And I guess it really comes into like what is the clutch play here. But enough about the past. Standout players. Give me a standout player or two from the teams.
I think Chris Beek had a good game.
Yeah.
He was instrumental in securing
He was
a
a
few
big,
goals.
big instrumental in that momentum change.
Yes.
Right, we saw at the beginning of Queensland, we saw them not really generating those offenses and throwing those offenses away. And I feel like when Chris came on, he was a bit more safe, looked for those passing plays, and really opened up that offense for Queensland.
Absolutely, and on defense too, he made a couple key tackles, shut
I
down
think
the
Wallace Trevor in there as well on
Yes,
Queensland, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Making some huge hits, putting the body on the line.
Yeah.
Right? We love to see that. Caitlin Rapson, she's just consistent, right? Putting some goals in, getting in some good positions, right? Caitlin knows what she's good at, and she puts herself in positions where she can score. So that's, the mark of a good player there. So some excellent work there.
And then the Victorian beaters. just
So dominant.
Insane. Yeah.
Sam Kilpatrick, Obel Rennie,
Yep.
Nathan Lamb, Nicola Gertler. It's just a powerhouse of a rotation to go up against, and it's tough for those Queensland beaters to be able to come up against that. But people like Nathan, Obel, just being able to push out, Sam Kilpatrick in there, pushing out and forcing those early turnovers, really generate that lead for Victoria early and put them into that confident winning position early. And that's obviously where you want to be.
Yeah.
Some great standout there. Obviously, fantastic work to the Victorian Chaser defense, right? Like they're looking for those intercepts, they're hunting for those. They have those beaters that are pushing out, and they're looking for those fast breaks. They know how to score. They know what they want to do. Looking for that slightly more. They're exploding out of that hoops defense into an intercept, into a fast break, right? How many times do we see Nathan Morton running down the field?
Yeah. And that kind of came as a result of Queensland taking shots a little bit too early.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree.
And
I don't think it's not there. It's just too early.
And Victoria, recognizing that, scooping it up, and going when they had the opportunity.
Yeah,
Good
100%.
recognition for when they could go and when they had to take it slow.
Yeah, and I think that's experience from Victoria, right? They look up, they can assess the field in a second or so, and they're like, okay, it's time to go, or it's time not to go. And I think that experience really shows with Victoria there being able to make that decision, that split-second decision. But some excellent work from both teams. We'll see if we have a Game 3 on our hands. But yeah, as it stands, Victoria taking out that third spot pretty convincingly there.
I would like a Game 3. I feel like Queensland are getting better and better each game.
I agree. I
And,
think this is a massive, and if they capitalize on what they were doing well towards the latter half of the game, they start that other game like that. I think we'd see a big difference there.
Yeah.
With how the teams work. But I think we're going to be potentially having some players come up. We'll see. I think James Hosford there on the field doing his broadcaster things, trying to pull the strings and see what's up. I've been interested this whole time. Does anyone know what he's listening to? What's the headphones for?
The stream.
He's watching the stream, so he's listening to us yap right now, talking about him.
Shout
Hello, Hoss.
out.
All right, Hoss heading over there to, I think, ask for some player interviews. So, no, he just looks like he was just doing his own thing, just chilling, just vibing, just living his own life. Queensland probably going to want to debrief after that because there's, in some ways, the end of the campaign, right? That position has been solidified. That third game, if they do choose to play it, will definitely be, for some pride and for having a hit out.
Yeah.
And, I guess in some ways the pressure is off and you can play those even rotations. And if we're considering that Queensland squad a bit of a development squad, I would say that that's probably a good thing to do, right? You're thinking, get more quality games in there.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, we're all here in Melbourne. May as well get
Yeah,
the most out of
exactly.
it.
Otherwise you're just hanging around.
Yeah. In the unlikely event that Bottles do lose their next game against Tongues, I imagine we would also want the same chance to play you guys, for a third game.
The very likely event that Bottles lose to Tongues. For those unaware, chiming in, I am on the Max Brenner on the Tongues,
Yep.
and Giacomo Abuba on the Bottles there. So do have rivalry coming up, but for now we're being friends commentating.
Of course. Just for now.
Yeah, just for now. Alright, we'll see what Hoss has lined up for us.
He's got Chris and Wally.
Alright, awesome.
So yeah.
And props to that Victorian team. Like they did what was necessary, right? They played their game. I don't think really at any point in time they were really forced off their game, and I think that translated into a dominant performance there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So props to them having a play style and it working, right, and then sticking with it, right? And
they got knocked out into the Consolation, but they kept their cool.
Yeah, and
didn't
it's
crack,
tough coming into that, and it's tough coming into that with the mentality of like, okay, we've just lost a game, we're just disappointed.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I jump into this, and how do I make this worth something, right?
For sure.
We've got if you want to jump here, Wallace, and we'll jump on, I will be either side of you. Alrighty.
Yeah.
So welcome,
Hello.
Wallace. Thoughts of the game?
Oh, look, it's our third time playing against the Lead Beaters this weekend.
Yeah.
So we had a good idea of what we're getting into. A lot of the ideas we had didn't quite formulate how we wanted them to. But that being said, we're a very young team. A lot of the players there, this is their first actual state shield.
Yeah.
Right? So we're actually really excited to see what they could put forward into the match. And I think that was a lovely testament through and through about what they could do and what they can develop further.
Yeah, we were talking up here that that Queensland team definitely looks like a development team, right?
Yeah.
Like with those new players, like you said, and I think just having that hit and having those high quality games to play is a testament to those younger players putting it out there and putting themselves out there. But it's also just onwards and upwards from here. So I think excellent work. Jack and I thought that the second half of that game you guys really brought into your own and you guys really played much better. How did you guys feel about the first part of the game when Victoria was starting to just lay on the goals there?
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but we changed things up a fair bit going into that game.
Yep.
So that first half was really us trying to feel it out and experience what we could actually do with it. And then once we got into that second half, we were really starting to get comfortable with our elements, our strengths, and we were realizing how we can adapt to make it work.
And I think that was really noticeable, right? We've got Chris Peake here, and we were saying that Chris Peake, quite an instrumental player in that change that you were mentioning. We were just saying that it wasn't quite working first third of that game probably, and then some changes were made, and that offense for you guys really opened up a lot more. So congratulations on that. How did you feel about the game, Chris?
I think it went well. Like our goal coming in, we had a lot of new players, we had a lot of injuries throughout the weekend and things like that. So we really wanted to focus on like that culture and that making it feel like a team. And we didn't want to do that at the expense of any other players. So it was really important to us that while you might say, oh, maybe this player should play more, that player should play more, we really wanted to reward people for coming and making this a nice experience, because it's so good to be here to play with other people, to meet other people, and a big part of that is getting on the field and being able to play regardless of the outcome. And we all felt like when it ended, it was sad that it was a loss, but it was still a nice feeling that we all played together in what felt like a
You did it how you wanted to, right?
Yeah,
I always say win as a team, lose as a team, right?
Exactly.
Like people often blame themselves, but I'm a big fan of
Blaming
it's a
others.
team effort, right? You win together. If you win, you're like hell yeah, everyone, and if you lose, you're like we lost together, right? Like, and that helps soften the blow a little bit. No, excellent work from the Queensland Thunderbirds. Jack, did you have any questions?
Yeah,
for
so
us?
being a more developmental team this year, I imagine you guys would have had some goals heading into this weekend.
Yeah.
What were they, and did you feel that you adequately met those goals?
Definitely. So, as we were saying before, one of our main goals was to really reward people. So on day one, game one, when we came in, we said, look, it's a blank slate today. So if you're playing well, you can be rewarded with more. If you're playing off, you might get a little bit less, or we might need to talk to you and things like that.
Yeah.
Coming into it, there was no, this player's been here before, so they automatically get extra time. There was no, this player is like the star, they're going to start off heavy. Over the course of the day, it was, okay, you've been playing, and it wasn't necessarily our best players. It was, you did really well this time, you get some more game time. Okay, you were struggling a bit, how can we help you? Can we give you more subs? What can we do? And there was a few games where that didn't fully go to plan, where, you know, coming in, working on our subbing and things like that. But over the weekend, it really came together that we were doing well and supporting everyone.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's great work. That's great stuff. I guess the question on our lips is game 3.
We would love to play a game 3. We were really excited. We think we've been playing really well and doing some great stuff out there. And obviously we're making some mistakes, but we can ignore that.
And we were just saying the step up from game 1 was noticeable, right? You guys made some changes and we felt like those changes were effective. And we were just saying we would love to see that kind of move up again in game 3, right?
Definitely.
Regardless of outcome, like you were saying, but just in terms of just some personal goals and seeing what the team can do.
Yeah,
We're beaten, but we're not broken.
Yeah,
We're keen for it.
I love that
Absolutely,
mentality.
yeah.
Love that mentality. So I love the mentality. All right, unless you have any more questions, Jack.
I was wondering about, you know, the future of this team going in. What key skills or areas that you guys were thinking needed more development, or anything that you've taken away from this tournament that you think needs to be developed?
Probably from a whole. We're just, as I said, we come in with some players, like Sam came into beating. We weren't even going to play him as a beater, but some things happened. We had quite a few very new players for, you know, this year or the last 2 years coming in. So the development is kind of across the board in time, but having access to this level of play is just so crucial for any development. They can see how far you can push the game and what you can do, and when you're watching, you know, some of your teams and some of the amazing things that players are doing this weekend, it gives you things to aim for. So rather than saying, oh, you know, I didn't do this or didn't do that, you can see an amazing tackle or goal or something. It's like, okay, now we can build up to practicing that. Oh, this person did a sick alley-oop. Okay, we can practice our passing, practicing our dunking, and we can
Just
work
studying the
towards that.
game,
Exactly.
experiencing it, for sure.
Yeah, breaking into
Love a bit of study.
Yeah.
Let's watch the footage.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you don't mind our commentary too much, because we've commentated both your games today.
Yeah.
We'll put it on mute. We'll put it on mute.
All right, otherwise, thank you very much for coming up. We look forward to probably commentating game 3.
Probably.
So thank you very much. We are going to get in Sam Patrick
our own,
as well.
yeah.
So you guys got to get out of here.
All right. We're not wanted anymore. All right. Cheers, guys. All right. Have fun.
Yeah.
I'm out after the Sam one.
Yeah.
Great plan.
Howdy.
Hello. Take a seat.
Thank you. Sorry.
That's a big bottle.
I like to stay hydrated.
Yeah, very good. All right. I guess my first question, how are we feeling?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. How are we feeling? You know, solidifying that third place there. So I always feel like, and we were talking about this, it's tough coming from the play-in match into a 3-game series, right? You're disappointed with the loss, and then you have to bring it back up. What kind of chats were had in that Victorian huddle to bring that energy back up to a place where you can play really good Quidditch? And we thought you guys played really well.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I think the first thing is, like, frankly, you need to acknowledge the disappointment. Obviously, obviously, wish we could be in the finals playoff. Like, Blue Girls played really well, really clean Quidditch this morning. So I can't feel too bad about that.
Yeah.
But you know, there's obviously disappointment. Everyone kind of wanted to get that kind of rematch game in from yesterday.
Yeah, of course.
You know, that yesterday goal for goal game was
It was
really
tight.
exciting, and I think
Very
that's
exciting.
kind of was what a lot of people were like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Can I say that? But like, let's go in for that. But you know, I think like honestly at that point, it's like, let's just play good Quidditch, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is like Victoria, like you're looking at quad ball Victoria.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool. Like
Yeah.
there were no applications knocked back. And so like that is what the Victorian Quidditch community looks like at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's really nice.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what that last 2 games have been about, like consolidating that, having fun with it,
Yeah.
Getting around each other.
Yeah, and that's an excellent mentality to have, right? Just coming in and being like, look, let's have some fun with it. And I was saying earlier, I think that's when teams play the best, right? When you're just like, you know what? A little bit of that pressure's off. Let's just play well. And then,
100%.
unfortunately, sometimes that's when you play your best, right?
Yeah,
That's when
yeah,
you're like,
no.
hell yeah, let's go, right? And that's when that really opens up. So, yeah, but you guys happy with your wins there? You know, some excellent.
I would have liked a few more.
Well, we were just talking to the Queensland players, and they're saying a game 3.
Yeah, I think I don't really understand the logistics of
The
how
game
games
slot
go
is there.
through.
The games are there. The game
Yeah,
slots are there.
would need to confirm. I think, you know, there's a couple of people who are keen to just get to the social. You know, sink a few drinks. But probably a discussion that probably needs to be had still.
Yeah, fair enough. Anything, Jack?
From your perspective, playing against the Queensland team, because they're a bit more of a developmental team, was there anything that surprised you guys or challenged you as a team?
Yeah, I think, honestly, I really love scrappy Quidditch.
Yeah.
I hate all of this talk about strategies and cascades. I'm a fucking beater. I don't know shit. I don't know what a cascade is. I don't know what a tree is. Like, I don't know.
Interesting that you don't know what a tree is when Victoria's played that most of the weekend.
Really? I thought we were playing zone.
I saw some trees.
I saw some trees.
Yeah, the more you know. But in all seriousness,
Yeah.
beating is just vibes, and that's why I beat. You know? It's instinct, it's vibes. You're going at it. And I actually think, I love that type of Quidditch, just chaotic but structured Quidditch. I often reflect back on the glory days of my Monash Muggles career.
Yeah.
When we won our fantasy league, we won our Vic Cup tournament, Mud Bash, and then we won Quaffle that year.
Yeah.
And honestly, I really don't think there was any strategy. And again, I can say that because I was captain.
Poor Manticores. Losing.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I think that's it, right? I think thinking about it is almost just play good sport. Good hands, good catching, good fucking chaotic
Just
beating.
the basics and just know what to do in a moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I made this about me. But I think going back, Queensland were doing that really well. I think their chases were I'm okay, 100% okay. I hope that's not a diss to say that they were playing scrappy Quidditch. But I loved that. I thought they were actually there were a couple Chris coming around from behind.
Wallace making some big hits out here in the middle.
Absolutely.
Some great work from the Queensland beaters to stop some of those turnovers, because you guys were 1.5 in quite a bit. What was the thought with that, actually? Because we were discussing that a bit. There was a lot of 1.5s from Victoria.
I'm just convinced it's the best strat.
Okay.
I'm really lazy. I don't like getting control back.
Yeah, right, okay.
And I'm also not that good without a bludger.
Yeah,
full
right.
disclosure. So I'm kind of I'm like, well, I was like, shit. And so I'm like, guys, don't lose it. Just 1.5, you know?
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it was working.
I'm
right?
convinced it's a really good play, honestly. Especially on D, I think you're really sacrificing your defense for less of a gain for an alternative aggressive beater play on offense.
So that's what we were saying. We were saying that the Victorian beaters were really holding that bludgeon reserve because that Queensland team, they can fast break and they will fast break, and having that 1.5 double bludger at the back really denied that. So, as much as you say chaotic Quidditch, it felt like the right tactical choice.
That was about the only strat I had.
Yeah, okay, well, that was a really good strat. It was really good strat. Where do we see this kind of Victorian squad moving on to in the future?
Well, I think that's it. A lot of people, questioning, getting on in age. My bones don't, bounce the way they used to. And, I think a lot of people are questioning, do I trade in my jersey for a sexy one as a memento and call it a day? Or, do we look forward, kind of hopefully do more of these events in the future? And I think, honestly, I'd love to see that. I think what's really nice is, and I was reflecting on, this is probably the lowest percentage drop bears squad from Victoria that it's fielded.
Right.
Realistically, as the years have gone down, and more of the drop bears squad has probably come from the northern states. I think it's actually given room for a lot of people to shine, and that's no shade to the drop bears, but I actually think for a team sport, you actually and again, Muggles 2019. No drop bears, you know what I mean? But because honestly, it's not about really star players, it's like team sport,
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes looking at some of the games this weekend and just general team and games, I think the teams sometimes that just work together really well and kind of let their up and coming players that's why New South Wales B looked so good, I think. They were just team that wanted to work together. They were talking and kind of passing, having the basics down.
Yeah. Well, other than that, thank you very much for coming in to interview.
Pleasure.
Giving some great insights, and hopefully we'll see you in Game 3.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you very much.
On your medal.
Thank you.
Congrats on the bronze.
Cheers, guys.
Jake, you want to join in? And we've got Derek. Just rip off Jacob for a bit.
Oh, sorry.
Moss is keeping me chained to this chair, viewers.
Where am I? I'm the lolly chair.
Max, Kerry.
Here we go. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everybody at home.
Here we go. Oh, there's a camera.
My name is Jacob. This is Kerry Barr, mother of Arabella Barr of the Blue Tongues, joining us for our fans and family segment. Kerry, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Jacob.
That's excellent.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How are you finding it?
I'm loving it. We oh goodness. We got up at 4:30 yesterday morning to come down here because we're a bit obsessed after watching Nations Cup, and we're loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, I have heard you were on the stream religiously for Nations Cup Saturday and Sunday.
Absolutely.
Did you have it at where were you on Saturday watching the stream?
We were watching it at a 21st in Wagga with the fireworks display going, and
I would say the perfect location.
Yeah, I know, my little screen happening.
Yeah.
But we ended up coming back a day early from our weekend away so that we could watch it on the big screen at home.
awesome.
Yeah,
and
right.
have all the devices happening as well, so we could do all the commenting.
Keep the score and
Yeah.
the commentary and
Yeah.
no, very much the same. And these international tournaments, when you know people, are so exciting.
Yeah.
So no, that's fantastic that we've gained some fans over this.
Yeah, well, Paul's here too. He's, he's with us.
How has this tournament been actually being here versus watching it live?
Oh, it's great. It's great. We're almost down to being able to watch the correct ball.
Very good. Very good.
We do.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
We do find ourselves watching the yellow ball a little bit, but we're loving it. It's a great venue, and yeah, it's great. It's really good live sport.
Yeah, it's nice to have a tournament where the facilitation of it is for fans. You go to some tournaments and they're stopping every 5 minutes. There's a lot of brooms down, and it's not really conducive to watching. So have you found it an entertaining prospect?
Yes,
Very good.
absolutely. Yeah, loving it.
Very good.
Loving it. Yeah.
That's very exciting to hear.
Rules. Talk to me about the rules. If you had one rule
Okay.
that you needed explained, what
Look,
would it be?
all of them, to be honest. No,
Same.
we're getting pretty good. When we first started watching, we had no idea what was going on.
It's a
And-
chaotic sport to watch.
Oh God,
That's for sure.
I turned around after the first match and just said to Paul, my brain's hurting. But we're pretty good with the rules now. But there's occasionally where we just have no idea what's going on. So I couldn't really tell you. Because if I have a look of confusion on my face, just come over and try and explain.
Me too, to be honest, sometimes in the field.
Yeah, there's some of those rules, they really get you, and they're so convoluted. But is what it is. We're here. We're playing the sport, so we should know a little bit about it. How you feeling excitement-wise for this game coming up?
I'm very excited for the game
First,
coming up.
second game. Best of 3 series.
I know.
This is
They're
it.
doing very, very well. Or I should say you're doing very, very well. You being on the team.
Yes.
But yeah, look, it's looking very good, I think. And look, it's a great spectator sport. It really is. Paul and I are looking at coming to the Friday night matches now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
QSQL. in
There's
style.
always a space to play.
Yeah.
If-
Oh, goodness. Is there a Masters team?
It just opens.
Opens,
just
right?
opens.
Okay.
And
Not-
I know
Nightmare's doing
Paul
some late
expressed
season
some interest in
recruitment.
some snitching.
I heard Paul, wants to be a flag
Paul's very keen on snitching. He doesn't have a cruciate ligament, which may hamper him just a tiny bit.
runner. But martial arts background.
He does have a martial arts background, so yes, he's
Do all right.
he's eyeing off the snitch. You love being a snitch, so
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I don't mind
yeah.
it.
So you
I can
might
show
have
him
a
a thing
little
or
bit of
two.
competition there.
Please.
Yeah.
Means I have to do it
Especially
less.
those Friday things. Those Friday things are definitely those Friday QSQLs are there for people to come and join and
Much
have
more
a watch,
social,
and
yeah.
they're much more social and like low stakes environment where people can kind of turn up and have a go. So that's what that's for.
But I've noticed that a lot of people don't know it exists, and I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the more people that find out about it, the more popular the sport's going
Yeah.
to be.
There's no
because
explaining it
yeah.
in words.
Look,
You have
it
to
is
see it.
difficult.
It
Yeah.
is tough because when someone asks, like if you were asked right now, I'm asking you, I've got no idea. What's quad ball?
That's interesting,
Okay, well,
Carrie, if you
interesting
want to
because
elaborate.
yeah, there was a guy that came up to me yesterday and
Oh,
said,
yes.
yeah, he was watching your son play soccer and said, "Excuse me, what is happening here?" And I said, "Funny you should ask me," because I said I'm probably the worst person to ask, but I said it's like the ground version of Quidditch, but I said it's quad ball. I said there's 4 balls on the pitch at any one time. I said there's 7 or 8 referees. Is that right?
Roughly so.
I think there's
5,
7 or
6,
8
7.
referees, and I said there's maybe 10 or 12 players on the pitch at any one time. It's
Yep.
probably 12 or 14, is
12.
it? I think I'm getting there.
And then
12 or
14.
14,
Yeah, but I
12 or
said
14.
it's kind of like a cross between. There's a bit of rugby, there's a bit of netball. I said it's really
Bit of dodgeball.
almost dodgeball,
Yeah.
bit of AFL.
Yeah.
I said it's a combination of all of them.
Yeah.
And
You've
yeah,
nailed
it
that.
was,
Yeah,
it was-
that's pretty much the explanation I
Yeah.
give most of the time. I just be like,
Yeah.
all right, what sports do you know? And it's just a mixture of those.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
you've nailed that.
But I do think the more people that find out about it, the more popular.
Yeah,
it will be,
definitely.
Because it's
Definitely.
yeah, it's a great sport.
Let's talk jerseys now.
Oh, I do like.
We've
the
got 4
jerseys.
jerseys here
Yep.
today. Talk to me. Favorite jersey? Anything
why?
you're surprised by the jersey? Yeah, which one
Okay.
which one speaks to you the most?
So favourite colours is the blue tongues.
Mm-hmm.
Favourite design is blue bottles. I don't know who designed that one, but that's a fabulous design. I love all the jerseys. I love that it's like a state of origin type of thing.
yeah,
I guess.
yeah. They are all very classy.
Yeah, no, they all look really good. And of course I'm going to say blue tongues and blue bottles because Arabella's been on both teams.
Yes.
And I was almost wearing a blue bottles jersey here to support had she not hung it on the back of my door, and I didn't see it.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Classic. I
Yeah.
think. Do you know who designed any of the jerseys, Max?
I think that Taylor Angela actually had a hand in
Really?
the Bottles jersey. I think that
Because that's the newest version.
Yeah,
of the,
because
of
the Tons
generation.
jersey used to have a blue tongue lizard on the front.
Oh, okay.
It had like a circular thing with a blue tongue lizard on the front. I do prefer this jersey.
You have to get it
Professional.
right. You have to get it right when you're putting like animal logos on it. I think Kaylee from Queensland has designed one for the team going to
I've seen
the
that.
Pacific Cup.
Oh,
Championship.
yes, yes.
And
I've
it looks
seen it.
very
It
nice.
looks really
It is
lovely.
very nice.
It's
you,
really
You have
nice,
to
yeah.
get it right. So I agree. I like it without the blue tongue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're really nice. This is quite an old iteration.
Yeah, I've
without
got the
blue
older
tongue.
one as well.
Victoria have had that basically since they've started.
It's forever, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
But agreed. So yeah, that's pretty much all the time we have today. So we're going to wrap it up there. I've been and still am Max Brenner.
I've been Jacob Solent. Thank you, Kerry.
Kerry
Appreciate your time.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you,
very much.
Jacob.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
That's for you, Huss. That one's for you.
I went the time.
It is 1.
Let's go.
What did Brandon say? 1:15 warm up.
So you go.